Shay Johnson talks about complications before the birth of her first child.
You know, I could tell on her face that she was looking like, hold on, I think I see something or whatever. And she had noticed that she's seen a couple fibroids, which pissed me off. I don't want to go through that again. I mean, the symptoms had me depressed, in the house, nervous, scared. I ain't want to go out because I didn't know if I was going to have an accident with a motorcycle, because your motorcycle can last for days on top of days. It's not normal. You have blood clots coming out. Mine were coming out the size of my palm. I had no energy. I was dizzy. My iron was horrible. So as soon as she said, I see a couple fibroids, my heart just started beating real fast. Like, not this again. Like, man, I've changed my eating habits. I don't eat any, foods with estrogen or a lot of estrogen, because I know fibroids feed off that. Anyhow, I kind of talked to the doctor. I also talked to USA Fibroid Centers, which is the company that I'm an ambassador for. And they told me, basically, it's nothing I can do. Because I'm pregnant, all of the procedures to remove the fibroids will harm the baby. And of course, I'm not about to harm my baby. So it's like I just got to deal with it. The good thing is, my friend, she had fibroids while she was pregnant, and she had a lot of pain. I don't have a lot of pain. I don't have any pain. But I know they seen 3 fibroids, and they're pretty small, but the only thing we can do is monitor them and kind of watch to see if they will grow. In a lot of cases, when women are pregnant with fibroids, the fibroids will just kind of disintegrate and go away once you have the child, which that's what I'm hoping will happen in my case. It's just like I said, everybody's body is different. I can't expect my body to react the same way other women's bodies react. Because theirs disintegrated and disappeared doesn't mean that's going to happen with me. I'm just hoping that's the case. Because I can't go through that.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I just can't. And so I know the fibroid and the baby is kind of feeding off the same blood. So sometimes, when you have fibroids and you're pregnant, it causes issues. Another friend of mine, she had fibroids and got pregnant, decided not to remove her fibroid. And as the baby grew, the fibroid grew. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to drive and talk to y'all. But as the baby grew, the fibroid grew with a friend of mine. And when the baby was born, the fibroid was pressing against his eye. And so when he was born, his eye was closed, and they had to literally perform a laser surgery to open his eye so he can see, which he can see, now, but he will forever have a lazy eye. And she blames that on herself, and she cry about it, sometimes, because she still feels that she should have removed the fibroids before she got pregnant. But you just never know. It's not her fault. You just never know what will happen in these situations. Like I said, some women have fibroids, they don't even know about it. But I know fibroids cause miscarriages. Like I stated before, I'll go over the symptoms again. It can cause miscarriages, back pain, pelvic pain, constant urination, meaning you're back and forth to the bathroom forever because the fibroid is pressing against your bladder. Blood clots coming out. Mine came out the size of my palm, and that's menstrual cycles can last forever. Mine was lasting up to 20 days, which I was losing so much blood, that's why I fainted. But those are some of the symptoms that you have. And I'm like, what the hell did I do wrong for the fibroids to come back? I'm pissed because I just don't want to go through this process again. You have no idea. Like, that shit terrifies me. And when I had the myomectomy, because I ain't never had a surgery before, contrary to your belief, I ain't never had no ass shots, no tummy tuck, no nothing. If you know me, you know I'm terrified of needles. I'm terrified of surgery. Anything like that has to do with yourself with a needle, I'm just not with it. So that's the first surgery I ever had, was to remove the fibroid. And because they cut your muscle right above like your pelvic area, They cut your muscle. My cut is probably, it's not big, it's about like this big, and they cut in that area to remove. They pulled out my, cut the fibroids off, and then they placed my back in, and that's how I ended up pregnant now. But because of that same surgery, the myomectomy I had, which was a couple years ago, is why the doctor, my current doctor, is stating that she would prefer me to have a cesarean, which is a C-section to remove the baby, versus a vaginal birth, which I want a vaginal birth. I don't want a cesarean. And I know women that has been pregnant and had a vaginal birth after a myomectomy. It just depends, again, on your body, your situation. So it just pisses me off, because these fibroids just cause so many different issues with women. And a lot of times, because doctors deal with them daily, they kind of dismiss them like it's just, oh, it's nothing that happens to everyone. And I literally went in on one of the doctors that I seen, and I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like I'm another patient, or this is just another of your many cases of fibroids, because I'm dealing with this. I never heard of it before, and it's affecting my life. You know, I pulled away from my family, friends. I stopped dating. I stayed in the house all the time. I was scared. So doctors have to show a little bit more sympathy and empathy when it comes to fibroids, because we don't know, they don't even know where it comes from. You can ask any doctor. They'll tell you the same thing. Oh, it's common. Right. But where does this common issue come from? What is the core issue of fibroids? Why is it happening? And all doctors say the same thing. We don't know. We just know it happens to all women, and especially African American women. And that's the horrible thing. You know, most African American women experience fibroids the most out of every culture. Why is that? They don't know that either. There's no explanation for this, and now I gotta deal with it again. So it's just, it's a headache for real. But like I said, I'm not in pain or anything like that. I'm just pissed. Like, why couldn't I just have a regular, normal pregnancy without dealing with that? You know. But I mean, at the same time, you can't complain. My baby is healthy. You know, they check my blood and check to make sure the baby don't have no Down, no sicknesses, no diseases. My baby is perfectly fine. I have to deal with the fibroids. So I rather it be me, you know, dealing with a situation than the baby. So that's just an update. And the reason I came on live is because it's like I said, the last post I posted is getting a lot of, you know, traction. A lot of people are asking questions. There's a lot of comments. It's over 100,000 views. It's steady going up. So I just wanted people to know that I'm fine, and I don't have any pain. It's just, I'm like, what the hell? Like, is this a hereditary? I'm like, I know I eat good. I don't know. I hate that the doctors don't put enough research. Well, the government rather don't put enough research and money into, you know, trying to find out why do we get fibroids? What is the best solution to remove fibroids? And I'll tell you this as well. Most doctors tell you myomectomy or hysterectomy, and they don't ever mention UFE, the non-surgical procedure, because it costs more money to have the myomectomy or hysterectomy done versus the UFE, which maybe costs you a couple $100s. So they really go after the dollar. They rather slice and cut in to remove the fibroids, knowing there's a more minor procedure you can have done like UFE to remove them. But because they're trying to make money and everybody values the dollar these days, that's why you have to do your research. Because look at what happened with me. I didn't even have to have a surgery. And I had it done because I didn't know any better. I didn't understand what fibroids was. I didn't know anything about it. I had never heard of UFE until after my surgery. So, here irritated. I swear I am. I just say, ladies, know your research. If you have any of the symptoms that I mentioned, talk to your doctor. Make sure you get a ultrasound done, not just the ultrasound, which gives you more clarity on the size of the fibroid, the location of the fibroid, and that's information you need to know to make the best decision for your situation. It sucks, for real.
Thanks for tuning in to 9 Mag TV.